might be done next year, maybe not from the VP side, but more of the Vice NR, as you saw the presentation of Kamel. There are a lot of other inputs that just the will to do it. There are budget questions, there are questions about do we find trainees, and also the question of how do we motivate people to go to a training event if they don't even join NPs. So that has not been done. That might be done over the summer and for next semester, maybe not in the VP tasks. Create a VP toolbox. Well, we did. We did do them for the OC and the CT, thanks to the help of the previous OC and CTs. So what I did is that at every new NP, I took every new input that were helpful from the different OC and CTs and put them together with other inputs I had from other national platforms. I didn't do a create a VP toolbox, however, I think it's also still useful. We started the Me Too colleagues in Geneva. There were, recruitment-wise, a lot of sections have very interesting tools that can also be used for other sections. So that's something that should be followed for the next VP. Create awareness of the possibilities that I am going to apologize for this ones. Once per month, this was not done at all. However, I will talk about this in my candidacy for VP again. It's similar to what Kamel did, actually it's exactly what Kamel did, but more broad-wise for also the national level corridor. Gonna talk about it later, so don't ask questions about this now. Promote and support the development of intersection events. I was completely lost, I didn't know what to do. A lot of intersections events have been done, so that was cool, but I did not probably do my job as VP to follow on them. Coordinate national platforms. I think this one is one of the ones that went best in a way that over all three NPs I kind of gathered experience on what actually the VP task in this position is, because the question is, do you just give them directions? Do you really overlook and ask them every week updates? Or do you just kind of trust them? Do you not trust them? It's very kind of a feeling on how the OC and CT works. And make a video to promote the post of OC for NPs. No, I have not done it, otherwise you would have seen it, but there is a way, we need to find a way to motivate OCs, or to make it for you clearer or easier, or just, you know, to make sure you actually are not scared when you become OC. But what else? Well, I have been to ESN Lugano 3 times with Theo. He has really helped me with that, supported me that, and I'm very thankful. Also, the whole NB was behind this idea. Quick, what we did is that we contacted the IRO, asked what is the point, and through the IRO we contacted the students. We have a few interested. We made a doodle to know when they would be the most present. There's also a lot of other background about info sessions that we went down, about collaboration with ESN Milano. Please ask about it. I went to the Forthnetics, to which I had a lot of inputs about, again, things I'm going to talk in my candidacy for VP. I've talked a lot with the Dutch Vice President. They do a lot of great work, and I think we can learn a lot from them. Support the President with the board management. That was just basically like if he had a lot of to do with his presidency or with his job, and he's like, oh, can you help me work on this document, or can you help me organize the next board meeting? Kind of do things he didn't have really time for because he has a lot of other things to do. And I kept the NPs funny with things. So that's it for my part. I do not have a picture either. I just have a dancing for later.
Thank you, Laura, for being on time as well. In fact, under time. Next up is Barbie with communication. And again, questions come up after everybody's spoken, so write them down.
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Fabi. If you haven't met me yet, I'm the communication manager. And I will KISS. That's something we like to say in communication. It means keep it short and simple. That's what I will do with my presentation now. I have always started with a highlight. The highlight for me between the last NP and this NP was HM Costa Brava, where I attended only as an experience package participant, but it was great fun. So, my general overall accomplishments. I have managed to apply a clear and global communication strategy on, bless you, Facebook, Instagram, the website, and so on. I have created and developed a communication committee with 5 nice people in it that is called Come On. I I have tried to encourage sections to apply for Star Awards. Lausanne did, and they actually got second place at the AGM, which is really great. I have tried to monitor the corporate identity, not too much, but as much as was necessary. And well, I have recruited a successor, more or less she has recruited herself, which is very nice. So yeah, those things have been accomplished. Now, there's still some work in progress though, which is the ESN guide, the third version. I'm working on that right now. And also the website, together with Mika, the web project administrator, we have managed to create this new landing page, which you can see here, which I think looks really fancy. Thumbs up for that to Mika, but the content can still be updated a bit more. Yeah, then I have some ideas for the next mandate. Maybe we could create some merchandise also for the exchange students, maybe come up with an idea for a t-shirt, like I've been on exchange in Switzerland, and then with mountains, chocolate, whatever, something like that. Then the Twitter channel, I haven't really been using the Twitter channel because I feel like it's a bit of a bubble, like the only people that follow you on Twitter are ESN sections, meaning the communication managers behind it, so it's a bit stupid because it's just communication managers posting things and reposting things from communication managers, and there's not really an audience. So yeah, do we want to continue with that? That might be a question for, well, my successor. And also the YouTube channel, where we have some really cool videos, but that has a lot of potential to grow further. Yeah, and all in all, I can just say that it was a great experience to be in the national board with you guys, and I will miss you, even Kevin. Yeah, it's gonna be sad to stop being in ESN. It's yeah, it will be a great change because ESN is such a big part of my life, and when it's gone, it will just be a void there. Yeah. If you have any questions, contact me. Thank you.
Nino? Thank you, Fabi, for that emotional and slightly still kind of down. Nino Wilkins, Education Officer.
Yes.
You have time for Fabi was short.
Yeah, we'll try to catch up the 20-minute delay of this morning, where the second part is going. So, hi, I'm Nino, the Education Officer. Here a bit of a report as well. I based myself also again on the action plan. In the meantime, as others said, I've been to AGM Costa Brava, did some non-education officer stuff mostly between NP2 and NP3. So this is an overview of everything I did in the year. My action plan had three main goals. It's to improve the representation of ESN Switzerland in the field of education. This means represent ESN Switzerland towards all the institutional stakeholders in Switzerland. What does institutional stakeholder mean? So they're the universities, the international relations offices, Movetia, which is the national agency, which is the one that funds the exchange program, the mobility programs in Switzerland, and also gives some money to us. The Swiss Student Union, and as well as other institutions where it's quite important to have the international students represented. So I'm basically kind of the lobbyist for interests of international students, and also at the same time for interests of ESN, because in the end ESN, it's good to show what we do on the local level, because maybe the people in your IRO might know, or some local students might know, but I don't think enough people know all the good work that the ESN sections are doing. So this is a bit of my job. Then increasing the support structure and knowledge within ESN Switzerland regarding education, so that in the past this was a one-man or one-woman show, and the idea would be to extend this. And the third part is promoting mobility, which has to do with Move in Europe. So the first part I had with improving representation is being involved in the 30 years of Erasmus celebration. Those of you that were at NP Basel were at the flag parade. The thing always with these education related activities, it's not just for us, but also to show to others. So for example, us having a flag parade at the for the 30 years of Erasmus in Basel allowed to the National Agency of Movetia to celebrate the 30 years of Erasmus, which they were not able to do because they're in Switzerland, and Switzerland is not supposed to celebrate Erasmus because we're not part of Erasmus+. But since Erasmus Student Network did this flag parade, they could show, oh look, the students celebrate 30 years of Erasmus, and oh by the way, this is Erasmus, and this is why it's nice for Switzerland to be included in this. So there's a lot of, it's not just the flag parade itself that was cool, but also the pictures that we get, the message that we send with it, and all of these things behind, which is super cool. Same, before CND Lausanne, we had a conference where we talked about the added value of mobility. Again, the conference was interesting, so we talked with the Vice President, this is Tiana, of ESN International, with the Vice Rector of the University of Lausanne, which is super cool to have like a high person of the university, and other student associations, but at the same time, we could invite the head of Movetia to hold a speech, and he was super happy to talk in front of students and to be able to post on his Twitter that he went to talk to students and so on and so forth. So a lot of this is to make to the people which we talk to, the people that give us money, to make them aware of how useful we can be and how good we can make them look as well. At the same time, one of the big goals or one of the big topics that we have in Switzerland is Erasmus+. So I held these presentations in the past at the first NP as well, that we are not in Erasmus+ anymore in Switzerland, and in 2021, there will be the new program. And the discussions in Switzerland have to do with the follow-up program, who will join. A lot of these things we cannot know yet. A lot of these things also depend on the elections, who is the next Federal Council of Switzerland, and so on. The fact that Mr. Schneider-Ammann is stepping down creates a vacancy, which can be positive, can also be negative for us joining Erasmus+. So there's a lot still open. So we did the petition during summer, and we had a lot of discussions. The photo here is with the important stakeholders. Again, one of them is the president of EAIE, the other one is heads of Movetia, heads of the Arrow, heads of Swiss universities. And the fact that we showed ourselves there is very useful for ESN Switzerland. And one of the things is to communicate effectively what we do as ESN Switzerland. So this is, we keep repeating and we keep explaining that, you know, we don't just organize parties, we also organize trips, we help with the buddy system. Everybody loves when we talk about the buddy system. There's a lot of super cool things that we can put forward and that the universities, when we tell the universities, oh, by the way, the sections do this, it's like, oh yeah, sure. The sections can help you at welcome days, or like sections, probably you could find people, if you look for people that tell how cool it was to be abroad, why don't you ask your ESN section? Because probably you have people in that ESN section that went abroad in the past year, and they could hold a good presentation, and they most likely would be motivated to do that. So these kind of things show the usefulness of ESN as well to the universities. The second point is to increase the support structure and knowledge. The goal was to develop an education team. As you can see by my progress bar, this did not really work. We did not really manage to develop the whole education team as planned by the previous board. One thing that really worked was involving the president. Theo did a very, very good job of helping me with these advocacy efforts, with talking to these conferences. And Theo was very well positioned because he works in an IRO and works in ESN at the same time. So he could bring this link very, very easily and talk to the IROs as an IRO guy and talk to the ESNers as an ESN guy, but also the other way around. So that's super cool. We have the plan to make it work a bit better. In the future, I've talked to a couple of you to involve you in some of the things, so we'll see that. The second point is gathering all the relevant information. Other countries have like a whole team of that. I have Zach. So thank you very much for that, Zach. Whenever something happens, whenever something is going on, we got that covered. Of course, it's nice to have other people interested as well, but for me that was wonderful. And the third is to involve the local sections. It's very important that the local sections also get involved, as I said, not a one-man show. So, the EAIE Geneva, you've heard this often, even Kevin as a treasurer said how important this is. So the thing is, the EAIE Geneva will have a presentation about this tomorrow, but we have the opportunity to join this event, which usually costs 900 francs for free by staffing a little bit. Huh? 900 euros, sorry. I see I'm even under-exaggerating. And so we have this opportunity. I'll talk about this tomorrow. Please join. And the last point is the promotion of mobility. Here, the mobility fair we had during the CMD, the presentations of Laura Heiner, representative for the whole people involved in the Moving Europe community. So So we didn't really manage to make an education team, but there was a Move in Europe team, so this started, which is really cool. And I think Move in Europe is something that we can also very, very well show to our universities on how we are useful. So when I talk to the ESN Lucerne, so there's a lady from the IRO of ESN Lucerne coming tomorrow, and she was super excited about Move in Europe and having students helping promoting going abroad. Because this is what we miss in Switzerland. Not enough people in Switzerland go on exchange. They have the opportunity, but nobody takes it. And if nobody takes the opportunities to go on exchange, Switzerland is not putting any money into exchanges as well. And so this is a very important thing that we tell people, please go abroad, use this opportunity, it's amazing, because we all know how cool this option can be. Anyways, so the other tasks I did, I was involved in the ESN review discussions quite a bit. I was with Winterthur and Zwil, my buddy sections, a lot of love for them. The International Erasmus Games, I was still quite active. Kit will talk about this. We still have some spots to go to Serbia over Kingston. It's going to be amazing. And I've been representing ESN externally with various things. Thank you very much, and of course, I probably passed the time that the other ones were passing. Thank you.
Relative to your usual times, that was almost on time. 8 minutes instead of 5.
Sorry.
Ready?
Yes.
Oh, good. No.
Okay, so my name is Kwasi. I'm the partnership manager of ESN Switzerland. Hello. Okay. I just copy and paste what I propose in my action plan. I will go through each of them and show you how far I've been. So keep in touch with our current partners and be aware of their usefulness to the sections. So I've been in contact with all the partners that we had last year, and also try to increase the deal that have been set up with the last NP. I also stopped the cooperation with some partners that haven't been useful for the sessions. Okay, I think the progress is good. So create a partnership team in ESN Switzerland to further broaden our partnership network in order to have new fruitful partners as much as possible. So, as you may know, we have, for the first time, a partnership team who had me allowed to create some stuff, such that the partnership booklet that we currently have in English, so help a lot to our partners. We also plan to have these booklets in other languages, so something we just start working on. We have contacted many companies, and we also, in the meantime, work with the communication team of you. Okay, so now the other objective is to create a local partnership manager position session where they have to be. So my strategy is to promote this position, just visiting the sessions. So something I just did once with ESN Geneva, and I also try to make some presentation by Skype with section where I can't attend, something I didn't do. Otherwise, I also prepare some job description and best practices related to this position, and also templates such that the partnership booklet, they can just modify as they wish and contact their partners, and some workshop I did last NP to let them know exactly how to deal with this position and also how to get sponsors. Okay, collaborate with the section in order to satisfy our partners' demands. So for each new partner, I prepare guidelines to just ask them some instructions they have to do about the new partner, and also the text for their social media and website. And I used to check their fan pages and website to know exactly if the work we asked them for have been done or not. And otherwise, I just ask them by private message to do the job we asked them for. Okay, so be available for the section in terms of partnership clarification, help questions, international partnership updates, and so on. So I create the group, Facebook group, where they can just ask the question that they want, or share their doubts. I also implement like partnership body for each sections to just help them during their partnership process, and of course I also be there to respond to every question that they want to, they will ask me for. And as I said, I'm also available to help them as much as I can. So workshop have been something I did in the last NP to help them more. And this is done from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Kwasi, for being on time as well. For those of you who can count the national board, there's one person missing. Mika, who is the web project administrator. The web project administrator is not here. He has made a video. We're going to get that video on the computer, but in the meantime I would like to invite the people who have done the presentations to come back, because we're going to take questions on those 4 presentations. Yeah, 4 presentations now, and then we will show you the video from Mika after, because we need to get it on the computer. Yeah. So, I would like to open the speakers list for questions to Lino, Kwasi, Fabi, and Fuji.
For the stream, could you guys maybe stand on this side?
For the stream, can you guys maybe stand on this side? Question round is open. Any questions for these beautiful people? Or these people that you find slightly less attractive?
Well, now I have half a knee.
Really? No questions? No questions.
Comments, you can also leave comments.
Comments, questions.
Recommendations.
Okay, we have Sophia first, then Kamal.
Okay, so my question is...
My question will wait for a microphone.
Yes. Yes. Sophia, ESN Unidesign. So my question goes to Viti or Lola. So how do you feel about the implementation of your action plan now that you're looking back?
I think it was like a little bit all over the place. If you look like at the things I wrote in my action plan, it doesn't really say exactly what I'm going to do. It's like more like, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. And you know, when at the end I was elected, and you're happy and hyped, and during the whole first semester, everyone's hyped and everyone's motivated to do so many things, and then you got the winter depression. You're like, well, actually, you kind of have to stop being hyped. I want to do new things, and kind of start to actually practically do something. So I think the reflection, the idea would be more like, when you do an action plan, it's better that you do less, but actually do it, than want to do a lot of things, and then not actually do it, and more like keep it as a background idea for the next NB to kind of suggest, by the way, I didn't have time to do this, but if you want, so yeah, I would say like, just try to be, how do you say, realist with what you actually can do, with what you can actually do.
Mel, thank you.
I'm just looking for information.
Masaki then, is next.
Masaki, ESN engineer. It's a question to Kwasi. First, a comment. Actually, thank you very much for your work, for everything like partnerships related. You've done a wonderful job. And when it comes to the bodies that you've assigned for the partnership manager in every sections, have you had the opportunity to get some feedback from the bodies and the relationship that they have with the sections, or not?
I just get feedback from the partnership bodies that assign to the sections. And the thing is, you section have to, ask a question if you have, some doubt as well, and you never, did it. And first time that I assigned this person from the person from my team to the section, I asked them to directly come to you and just present themselves and say that if you have many things to ask, just come to them. And no one did it. So I think the job maybe will also come from the both sides.
Hello everybody.
Now,
I hope you're doing perfectly fine at the NP.
From you.
I cannot be
So
with you
maybe
this
for the
time,
next
so
year,
that's
we
why you
might
have this
just
video
try to
message.
find another
So,
strategy
my board activity report based on my action plan.
Really important for
What were the main points? First point was the maintain the tools that we have. One tool that we have with ESN Switzerland is the Satellite 4. Satellite
So, Canal listener from Switzerland. Question for Nino. Sorry, I wasn't really listening when you were talking about the EIE. Did you say AIE? Did you tell us how many applications you already have for the?
Currently we have 2.
Okay.
We have 2 applications and there are 10 open spots.
You're looking for 10 people, right?
I'm looking for 100 people that apply so we can choose 10 out of them, but yeah.
So what is happening if you don't have enough applications?
The idea is, so we're going to talk about this again tomorrow, but the idea is we're going to relaunch the call. In the worst case, we're going to possibly tell some of the people from the NB that they should do it. I'm fairly confident that once you listen to how cool the presentation is tomorrow, and you do your job of disseminating to your sections, I think we can find these 10 people, because the opportunity really is cool.
Again, if there is a question related to a presentation that has its separate presentation, its own thing, please keep it for that question. I expect that from your family. Zach?
No other questions.
So Zach, he is a new consultant for Lagundi. A small question to our amazing education officer and wonderful communication manager. Both of you spoke about Twitter. Fabi for not knowing what we could do, and Nino for telling us the head of Innovation what we can do. Could we use this channel for more external communication to other stakeholders?
Yes, the thing with Twitter is I was talking more about reaching exchange students, reaching other Swiss students that might be interested in volunteering for ESN. There, I think Twitter is not the best way, especially because in Switzerland, Twitter isn't really used by people other than politicians and journalists, more or less. So yeah, it could be a channel that we can use for more professional communication, maybe with stakeholders, partners, and so on.
Just maybe a quick on how this goes on during the meetings. And so during Fabi's presentation, Theo and I, we were writing, like, you know what, we just should take over the Twitter and use it for our advocacy things. So the same things that's going on, we're talking about it. We'll have to talk about it slowly, but it has an importance, I think.
Okay. Are there any more questions? In that case, I propose that we watch this. The speaker says it's frozen, not closed. How this works?
So, my board activity report based on my action plan. What were the main points? First point was the maintain the tools that we have. One tool that we have with ESN Switzerland is the Satellite 4. Satellite 4 is the website system that most of ESN sections use. We have it installed for most of the section as well. The state is that we have to move it to a new server. Almost everything is done. ESN Fribourg is still to be done. And that's it. And Basel has a new website now. That were the things that have been done for the satellite. There is also always a Drupal security updates to do, which takes a bit of time. And yes, next is the Galaxy roles. So first point was to find out which role does what, which was not very easy, but now I can give support on attributing the roles. Then ESN Live, for those who are following on the live stream. With ESN Switzerland, we bought a webcam, so we have a very basic tool set so that we are not dependent on the material of private people, and we can just bring the ESN Switzerland webcam. The mailman is the mailing list that we use. There was not much to do. There is just always a bit to remove people and add people and make sure that the mails are passing through and not being bounced. which still happens sometimes. And the new system is the Swiss event registration. Everybody of you should know it because you register to the NP with this. So this needs a bit support to set it up, but then if the section organizing the NP knows how it works, it does everything from registration to invoicing to workshop registration, whatever you want. And the last point is the wiki. We have a new template now. It's looking a bit better and it's also mobile friendly. You can have a look if you want. The thing is, it's still a bit empty. The information has to be moved around again so that we can really use it. And we also have to update all the guidelines that they can be available from the wiki. But everything together, this was more or less all done. Then next point was to screen and document the IT tools in Switzerland. Website monitoring was done, which is seeing which section has which version and everything. And also the contacts. Normally now I have the contacts of every webmaster, and I sent you a mail some time ago. If you haven't received it, tell me. It was containing the local webmaster guideline. So there you find the information about the system we have and how you can get help. So this is very important for your local webmaster transition, that the national board always knows who is the next webmaster, so we can help you better. We also use Google Analytics on esn.ch so that we can analyze who is visiting our website and why, and we can offer a better service. The Helvetic IT team has been founded in September. We have 3 members now left, Timothée Lotta, Alain Schaller and myself. And this was moving on, but managing an IT community is not so easy. People are very busy in general. We did some projects, but we could still do more. If it's needed in ESN Switzerland, this has to be seen. Then IT training, I did sandbox satellite sites where you can just check out and see what happens if you change things. I did the workshop at NP1 in Basel, how to satellite, and the local webmaster guideline I've talked about. But this IT training has to be done again and again because of the turnover in ESN. We can do it with the new people next year. So this is always moving on. Then the website, this is how the dashboard looks when you go to the ESN Switzerland website. We now have a website team together with the communication committee, and the goal of this is to find out a bit better why are people using our website and to offer a better service, to write some text about Erasmus in Switzerland or exchange in Switzerland, and also to write some maybe trips that people can do on their own. And if somebody is interested joining this website team, just tell me. We are still open for new people. You can learn a lot about search engine optimization and how to write the texts and have a feedback. Then the guidelines. The national webmaster guideline is almost finished. I will have it for my transition. And then local webmaster guideline I was talking about. And all this stuff is now on the wiki for the IT part, and also the other parts for the other national board members are coming soon, I guess. So the guidelines is almost done and has to be finished. So that was it already. Thank you for listening my video message. If you have questions, I'm always available on mail, better, and webmaster@esn.ch is my address. Thank you very much and have a nice end of the NP or continuation of the NP. See you soon.
Speakers list, I guess there are no extra questions and we're running out of time. If you have questions for Mika, ask them on Facebook, I guess. No? I'm not listening to presentations. Speakers list is closed. So the next thing we have on our little agenda, where's my mouse? Here it is. Is after all of what Mika just said. Blah 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 blah. Is an introduction to workshop sessions. So we're going to change it up. You guys are going to stand up, go to different rooms. These are the workshops that we have for you in session 1. You normally pre-registered. It would be great if you went to the workshop you registered for. If you don't remember, not important. It was just to make sure that the spread of the workshops, that every workshop had kind of the same number of participants, and that is the case. Number 1, we have preparing your fall semester with Delphine. Who's going to put a hand up? Thank you. Delphine's credentials: she was Welcome Week manager for ever. And she also prepares the whole semester plan for ESN Unil. Room number 2, ESN on your CD with Thea. Hands up. She went to an Educate event to start her to learn how to give a workshop. I recommend Educate, by the way, if you don't know what it is. Come see Thea or me or Campbell or Sophie. We've all been through them. Room number 3 is branding in your section with Fabi and Sophia. I think they're pretty qualified. We have the current national communication manager and the potential and probable next one. So workshops start as soon as you're in the rooms. The rooms are all down the hall, past the stairs, on the right. There's a sheet of paper on the door saying which workshop is in which room. It should be good enough for you. The workshop will last an hour, so we will be back at 12:30 in the room, please. And take pictures of your workshops. That's a very good idea. Workshops make for lovely pictures. Thank you, guys. can do. Who wants to stay here until 7 o'clock this evening? No one. Okay. This is how I treat my kids at school. Luckily, you were all late back from workshops, but we are a clever charting team, so we have lots of time. So we are actually 2 minutes ahead. So, Kwasi is not here. Damn it! Where's Kwasi? Kwasi! Okay, well, but we still have 2 minutes, I guess.
He has business.
Would you mind if I move that thing to the middle of the room, or is that that? No, we can't.
Can you have somebody else with the board present on us?
Is that passing? Okay. So now we have a flagship update by Kwasi. He will talk about some of our new partners, old partners. Do you want the other microphone? You can have the other microphone. It looks so much cooler.
Hello, hello.
And we proceed.
Okay, so here we go for the partnership update. So first I'm going to just talk about the partners that we start working with. We go for Seller. So we start working with Seller. I mean, they start working with us. There's no way to have free condoms for them. I think it's just happened just once last year. It was a big exception that we got 2,500 condoms and 500 francs to distribute to sections. So it will not happen anymore. Otherwise, it's still sorry. It's still possible to order condoms as long as the number is, up to, a higher, than 5,000 pieces with 1 franc each, and we still have our ESN logo on the cover. Okay, Planify just have been used once by ESN Uni Lausanne, and the other section didn't use it. I think it is understandable that that the section do want to focus on their current communication tools instead of having something who might not be better than the current one. So we will start working with them at the end of this mandate. So let's move on to the active partners. So Flixbus, I think everybody knows about them. We will keep working with them for the next semester and still stay. We have the same deal such that 1 online and 1 offline voucher, 10% discount for every student through the ESN card. April Swiss, yep. April Swiss, just for a reminder, they give us 3,000 francs for the ESN guide, and we still have this amount for the next year. And the deal was to for the students to design special health insurance for them, costing 69 euros per month, something I think cheaper than the normal one that we have in Switzerland. Watermelon, you all know about them. They also the last update, the last order that we get from them is the ESN hoodies. The offer, something new with them actually is to give the opportunity to the international student to have something to get benefit from them. So the student can order free logos for their personalized items they can get from them. Red Army is our sponsor for the last EGM, so Roger Casabrava. We get 5 kilos of chocolate and meat from them, and I think it's not too much, but it's worth. And all of person who have been to the agent Casabrava can confirm that it's having useful to have this kind of chocolate from them. So they will be really happy to give us more chocolate for the next year. So I think I don't have this job to look after many companies and get negative responses. So Lebara, just quick reminder for you. I think I will talk a lot about Lebara to let everybody know well about them, because it's really I think it's the biggest partner that we got this year. They give us a free SIM card with top up, and the session can also get 22 top ups done by the respective student, and they give us 5,000 francs. And what is new now is they will give us 2,000 francs for promotion to ESN guide. So I think the cash flow in this slide. Okay, next thing is the yes trip. Yes trip, I think we spend a lot of time to have something, okay, should work. So for now, we just have a contract, and this contract start from 1st of May 2018 to 2019. I sent through the mailing list the contract that we got from them. It was signed, and I also would like you to give me your feedback and input about this contract. So look on it, and I think you also have the right to refuse it. So if you refuse it, I will have a lot of work to propose you new contract. And I also want you to put out something that it was really exceptional, an exception. I mean, to send you a contract from a company, I think it's maybe not happening for other ones. This one will be really important because you section have to work with them, and we want to be really transparent with this company. So feel free to ask your questions, doubts about this company, and I will be happy to help you or to answer. Okay, at the meantime, I also sent to you sections, to your partnership managers and or your partnership responsible to let me know which national trip they want your trip to organize first national event. And all of you said October 1st. So for now, you said Yes Trip is working on it, and I also ask you to propose me the date that you want. So I give you 2 slots. This is the weekend of 29th or 1st of October. I don't remember exactly, and 5th October to 8th. So these dates have been chosen by everybody. So the price and the registrations, it costs 189 for the 3 days. The maximum amount of a ticket on sale will be confirmed pretty soon, and the capacity of the trip will be 160. The thing is, we plan to maybe go with 2 buses with 80 persons, and the case where we just have like 80 person registered, we can just only go with 1 bus. We just want to, as long as we have 40 participants, it's fine, right? I think I believe that we'll have more than that. Okay, like I said, we start from 4th of September, and it's still possible to cancel your registration. It could be 1 week before the departure. Okay, what does it include? There will be the transportation from and to Munich in the bus from different cities in Switzerland. 2 nights stay in the bus, one night stay in tent, including sleeping bag, inflatable mattress, 2 or 4 person tent, breakfast, after party with all the ESN Switzerland sections in Munich. And the benefit I think you already know that the organizer all trip by themselves, and the thing that you need to do is to make the promotion. And I will also be there to push this happen, and yes. So one ESNer can go for free if 25 tickets is sold, and we ESNCH we get 10 francs commission per ticket. So what does it include? Does it provide? One Yes Trip guide will be with 30 participants. There will be also one app that will include all the information about the trip and all the small changes and so on, the meeting point. They will also provide us promo materials like the Facebook banners, posters, flyers, etc. And we will also have the chance to get professional photographer for the world trip, and all the picture will be delivered at the latest 1 month after the trip. And obviously we also have adopter meeting. So thank you. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask.
Plus you get the chocolate for being on time every time.
Thank you.
We have questions. I would like to open the speakers list. We have Kevin, Masaki, Diane was first actually, then Masaki.
Kevin, National Treasure. Thanks, Wasim, for the presentation. Maybe I missed these details, or maybe you did not include it, I don't know. Is there a reservation for the Yes trip to Munich for Oktoberfest? Is there a tent reserved in the Oktoberfest for the participants?
Yes.
Because I don't think I saw it.
Okay, this trip, this weekend is reserved for ESN Switzerland. Because before that there will be other country going, and they don't want to have the same country in the same weekend. So this one is only for ESNCH, and we will have our own tent reserved there. Is it? I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, well, we cannot have our own tent, but we can have a table in the tent. In the Oktoberfest. I did my Erasmus in Munich, so
okay.
Check that.
I will check it. I haven't been there in Munich for Oktoberfest, so maybe I just missed something.
Yeah.
But I will confirm this to you as soon as possible.
I think it includes it.
I think you said.
Yeah, I think he said it. I just wanted to make it.
Okay, yeah.
Diana?
Diana is in Zurich. Yeah, I think maybe the question goes in the same direction. You mentioned everybody agreed on this date for the 5th of October. I was wondering who glad everybody was.
How what?
Yeah, you mentioned like the date for the Oktoberfest is going to be the weekend of the 5th of October, like the last weekend of the Oktoberfest. So I was wondering who everybody was, because you mentioned everybody agreed for this date.
Okay, I sent the Google form to your package manager, and they fill it, and all of them decide to this date. And I think it's also the better one for us to be in there, because the weekend before maybe will be crowded. So it's the best one, I think. Yeah.
Masaki is in Geneva. I'm gonna try to be very quick. First, the comment about Planify. We actually in Geneva tried in September to
Sorry, I didn't know.
And yeah, I gave up after like 3 weeks. I think it didn't go as planned, and like not that many people were using it, and because they prefer to focus on Facebook. So just so you know, so we tried to implement it in Geneva as well. And the second thing about Lemera, or are you planning to make a small report at the end of the semester with like how much the section will get out of the contract?
Good question. Actually, I just get some reports from them, but it's not official because maybe some people didn't, activate yet their SIM card. So I will have the final list, yes, at the end of this mandate, yes, and to share to the network.
Nice. And very quick question.
Yes.
Is it possible, because like the Libera representative came at our Balkan Week, for example, in Geneva, and it went totally fine, but is it possible for us to actually tell them that we cannot allow them to promote the products within the university if they have some problems with the RRO, for example? Is it possible to refuse?
Definitely, yeah. Because I told you during the promotion of Libera that it's something just optional, so you can just choose if you want them to come. It's something just to help you. So if you think that your section can just hold up this stuff, yes, of course you can. Yeah. And just by the way, Libera, there will be Pascal. He's from Libera. He's responsible for all the partnership stuff. At least for us, for ESNCH, with ESNCH. So he will be there this afternoon to present the offer. So if you have like some other questions about their offers or other stuff, you can just ask him. Yeah.
Stephanie, you have a question?
Stephanie, ESN Bern. So how is the collaboration with Lebara going? Like, are they happy up to now, the way we are selling Lebara cards? Like, we are giving out the cards? Because, like, Bern has not done much concerning this.
Yeah, Bern was not only the section who haven't, who didn't get involved with Lebara, but I think I would like to try it again. So we had we had a meeting with Lebara to discuss about how to move on, and we planned some other stuff to improve in the process. So I hope and believe that it will work for the next semester, and just let Lebara be strong in our network, because I think it will give us many money.
Okay, we have one more question from ISK. Is there anybody else who would like to be added to the speaker list, has a question? In which case I propose to close after ISK. Objections? No? Speakers list is closed.
ISK, ESN Zurich. I remember from the last scripts presentation I saw that we don't have any obligations to them, like how many scripts we have to do, whatever. Is it right, or do we have any obligations to this?
There is no obligation. Okay, October 1st we will try as many other events we will have during the year, and if a section don't want to participate, it's up to them. I will make the promotion stuff in social media, and if your student want to come, they can just register. And if you want to prevent them, it's also up to you. But I think it's really flexible for us.
Okay, thank you, Kwasi.
Welcome.
Kevin is next. ESN card price increase. First thing Kevin's going to explain is why are we talking about this? The jacket is on.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Kid, for the introduction. Alright, important topic. We're going to have a vote on this, so please listen and turn your brain on. Thank you. Okay, you might be aware or not, last AGM we had an increase of the cost of the ESN card. The increase was of 0.5 euros, which is approximately 60 Swiss cents.
Today, ESN Switzerland is selling the ESN cards to the sections at 5 francs a piece. And the question now, since the cost increased, what are we going to do with that? As DNB, we wanted to have your opinion and your decision, so that's why I'm going to present you some options for the votes, but before that, some background. I based all the options and our hypothesis on average number of ESN cards per year. So I took the 5 past year and I did the average of that, of the sales of ESN cards, which leads us to 2,132. We made a whole document, by the way, with all the calculation, all the details. It was sent by Beauty through the mailing list, so please check it if you have any doubts or you want to go deeper inside the subjects. Then, so what does it mean in terms of finances? What I did, I just took this number, multiplying by 0.5 euros, gives me 1,000 euro more or less. I converted that to Swiss francs, which is 1,200, more or less. And this is our base number. This represents the change of cost that we're going to have from now on, every year. It's an hypothesis. It's not, we cannot forecast that exactly. Huh? Also, ESN students sometimes buy ESN card for reserve. I did not account that in my hypothesis because we have to bear that cost. It's not up to the section. Anyway. So, we propose 5 options how to deal with this increase. Option 1, we don't do anything. ESN Switzerland is absorbing the cost. Option 2, we raise the price of the ESN card. Option 3, we raise the price of the ESN card higher. I'm going to go in details in options. Option 4, we raise the price of the Swiss membership. Option 5, we raise the price of the Swiss membership even more. Let's go inside the option. So, option 1, what's going on? We don't do anything. So basically, ESN Switzerland is absorbing the cost, the increase of costs. Results? Well, we make a loss of 1,200 francs more or less per year. So we have then to cover that with another budget. We have to amend it then. No? We did pros and cons for each option. So the pros, well, the sections are not, that's good. So, but the cons, well, ESN Switzerland is affected, which results, in less services. We have to cut somewhere. So we did not decide on anything yet, but we will have to cut somewhere in our current budget. So meaning we're going to offer that, or to have. Option 2, we increase the cost of ESN card we are giving to you, the section, but just to cover this increase. Meaning we were selling the ESN card at 5 francs, now it will be 5.60 to cover the cost every year. Financial impact for ESN Switzerland? Well, no gain, no loss. Just as it is. Well, the pros is ESN Switzerland is not affected. We keep the same level of services. The cons, well, bigger expenses for section every semester. Also, well, you might revert that on the ESN card that you're selling to your students, to exchange students. That's not so great. Possible. Option 3, we increase the cost of the ESN cards, but to 6 francs. So overall impact, ESN Switzerland is making a small profit every year. What are the pros and cons of this option? Well, it makes a bigger profit, so we can increase services. Example, we can give a bigger grant for intersection events, or we can have a bigger community weekend. That's just some ideas. But in the cons, well, it's still making a bigger expense for sections. And again, well, you can, transfer that increase to the exchange students. Going to be faster. Option 4. Instead of taking the price of ESN card, we raise the Swiss membership. Every section has to pay a membership to be part of ESN Switzerland every year. So what we will do is we're just going to increase the price of the membership to be equal to the one of ESN International. Well, the same increase is applied there. Meaning, still a small loss for ESN-CH of 360 francs. What are the pros and cons? And why we propose that, by the way? Basically, most IROs pay the membership fee. So the pros here is, well, it doesn't impact the sections, neither the NB, more or less, or the ESN-CH. Oh, I did not write that. Yeah. Also, since we increased the price of ESN, of the membership of ESN International, it's just to align that to the Swiss membership as well. The problem is, well, the cons, it's not related to the ESN cards that you are selling every year. So, meaning, let's take ESN St. Gallen, they don't sell any ESN cards. They're just going to have a higher costs, but they don't sell ESN cards. So they are still impacted by that. Option, and well, it doesn't cover the full increase. Huh? Option 5, sorry. We still increase the membership fee, but to cover the full increase. So basically, no gain, no loss for ESN-CH. And the pros and cons are basically the same as option 4. The only thing is, there is less, one con less. It's covered the full increase, How are we going to vote on that? Basically, we have 4 main propositions, as you can see. So A is we raise the ESN card price. B, we raise the membership fee price. C, none of the above. D, we abstain. If option A is chosen, then we have to choose between option 2 or 3. So raise the price to 560, raise it to 6. Same thing, if B is chosen, we raise to 140 the membership fee, or to 165. If C is chosen, it just means option 1 is accepted. So ESN Switzerland is absorbing the whole cost. Option D, well, you abstain. I think that's clear. We just have a recommendation as national board. We suggest to raise the price to 560. So meaning we're just going to cover the increase of the cost, and ESN Switzerland is not going to make a loss on this. That's our recommendation. Now I'm completely open to questions. I think it's important. So please shoot. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Okay. Let's go. Apparently Andrea was first, I'm being told. Ben? Andrea, Dave, Audrey, Ben, is that okay? Andrea, Dave, Audrey, and Ben. And that's it.
So, one thing that was missing in this is the price has increased.
Ah, you want to know the price? Yeah, sure. So basically, we buy the ESN card to ESN International. Today was €1 by card, and tomorrow will be €1.50. Yeah.
So anyway, there's already like a game.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Just to add this part that I think was missing.
We have a reaction by Theo before Dave. Thanks.
Totally agree with you. Very, very relevant, but we have to keep in mind that the 5 francs has been the status quo for many, many years, and we base a lot of our finances on that, and we're not trying to like make a profit from ESN or anything like that, right? We don't have that much money. We're not very rich, so comparing us to Italy is very, very fair. I know they make much less of a win, but we will effectively, if we don't adjust, be taking away 1,200 francs from our budget, and that means money that we're actually investing in the network. What you're saying is completely right, but we can't. We should not only just compare. We have to look at our reality. But you're right.
Yeah. Just because I think anyone know exactly which was the difference. That's just
the reaction, Dave.
David is in Basel. First, can you go back to the voting tree? The questions about the voting procedure. Is it still possible at the second voting, so either raise to 560, raise to 6, and to vote none of the above? Or is that not included in the vote?
Yeah, I did not include it in the tree, but yes, you can.
Okay.
It was just for clarity, but yeah. Thank you for pointing that out.
Reaction from Audrey?
I think it doesn't really make, I mean, it makes sense to have abstain, but not none of the above.
Nino, education officer here in Switzerland, and person who likes voting procedures. The thing is, there is a possibility because it's simple majority. So maybe you could have, out of the 12 sections, you have 5 sections saying raise the membership fee, 4 sections say do nothing, and 3 sections say raise the ESN card price. Then membership fee goes on, but still does not have, like you cannot say now we're forced into raising the membership fee because the simple majority was decided. So we still have to actually actively choose this option while still giving the option of keeping it at 5 francs, because we don't want to force you into this raise just because in the first round one of these 3 options was chosen. Yeah, you'll still have abstain, you can always still abstain, yeah. So the second, let's say you agree to raise the ESN card price, the second round would look, do you want to raise it to 560, do you want to raise it to 6, do you want to raise it to none of the above, or do you want to abstain? And the reason for this is we did not want to have a vote with 5 options, which is super complicated because if you have simple majority, then the winning option might have 4 sections supporting it. So if we split it up in 2, the winning option will have more support and actually be carried by the network.
Regarding the voting, if you have feedback, today is the day. Because we need to prepare the slides for tomorrow, including the explanation of the procedures. So that this is all good. Audrey, is your question? No? Then Audrey.
When you say that most IROs pay the membership fee, how many is that out of the 15 sections?
I don't have a number.
Can we have a quick show of hands?
Informal votes. Hands up whose section paid, the IRO pays the section membership fee for them. Basel, Alton, Neuchâtel. Yes, great. Thank you.
Good number.
Next up was Ben.
That helps for the vote.
Hi, Ben is an EPFL. In the scenario of an increase to 6 francs for the ESN card, is there any plan of what to do with the excess money?
As the same thing as if we make the loss, we did not make a full plan yet. To be honest, we don't know what's going to happen. But basically, the purpose, that's what we discussed with the NB, will be to invest that money for the sections. Most probably, it will be either community weekend or intersection events, most probably. But I cannot take the stand here.
Thank you. Next was Masaki.
Okay, Masaki, ESN Geneva. So at NP2, we actually talked about the sending order changes and membership fees for from ESN International America, and that there will be a change for ESN Switzerland that it will be up to 120 euros, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
So, and have we also taken that into account? And I think the membership fees for the section here, you want to up them until 140, right?
That's one of the propositions.
Or 160 something.
Yeah.
So my question was like, have you taken that into account for the international membership fees?
Yeah, actually, it doesn't, increasing the price of the international membership fee doesn't impact ESN Switzerland at all. Because basically what we do is we gather all your membership fee for ESN International and then we just give it to them. So it doesn't impact on our budget. The only thing in the impact is cash flow. So yes, there is an impact, but no financial impact per se. If you see different numbers between both, because on the expenses, well, we give the money to ESN International, so it's still an expense for ESN Switzerland. But that doesn't, if the expense increase, the income increase at the same rate exactly.
Okay, thank you. And second question, unless you want to do it, or yeah, okay. And then would the increase in the partnerships revenues balance actually could balance the loss from the increase of the price of the ESN card?
Yes, it totally does, but the thing is, it's not sustainable. So this year we have a contract, great, but next year maybe we don't. So we are looking for a sustainable solution. Between all this proposition, it will be in the end a budget amendment. So we just need something sustainable. Partnership is not salary.
Reaction?
Switzerland. And we'd also like to grow. We don't want to just cover our costs. We want to invest and grow. So that's very relevant because we also want to grow and do more things to train against this and for that we need more money.
Okay, we have Kamel still on the student list. Would anybody else like to add? François and Ben again. Anybody else after that? Then I propose to close the speakers list after. You oppose? Then we stay open. Yay, Kamel. Lunch is already there, it's pizza and it will get cold.
Very important. Kamel, SNR, ESN Switzerland. Can you just remind us what are the main partnerships we have access with the ESN cards?
Alright.
The most important. Do you know how it's procedural?
Yes, but after Kevin's question.
Okay.
Oh, okay. On the international level, you mean?
Both. The most relevant.
Well, we have Lebara, Flixbus. On the international level, we have Logitech, Austeling International. What else? We have. Sorry? Ryanair. Yeah, Ryanair. Yeah, obviously. And I never think about this one since we don't use it so much in Switzerland, but we do. Do you want to complete the list? You know it maybe better than me.
This wasn't just
Okay, for the question, just about Lebara, we are thinking to include in the ESN card. So for the next year, there will be each person will show or just prove that he had ESN card to get access to their offer. So after that, obviously we have Ryanair. Even if it's not really relevant in ESN Switzerland, it still stay possible for the student to use this. This discount after they get back home, they can just fly it, anywhere. But yeah, otherwise Flixbus also and
Studying international.
And otherwise will come up next year. I'm working on it.
Yeah, basically we have quite a few partners and we want more.
So François, ESN PFL, could you come back to the number of cards sold in the last few years? Because there seems to be a huge variability between 2015 and 2017, and I was wondering if you could explain this variability and why you chose to use the average as like a 2,100 something.
So between 2015 and 17?
Yeah, it's plus minus 500 cards, which is like quite relevant for the price increase.
Well, to be honest, I don't know why he changed it.
Okay.
I don't have the answer. I would have to really look deep into it. 2015, I joined the ESN, so I don't know. Sorry, we don't have historical data on the reasons.
I can maybe partially answer your question. It was the UN type to cover the presidency of UNIL, Lausanne, and they put a whole new system to sell the ESN cards, which worked very well, and they like doubled or tripled their sales. So it's not everything, but it partially explained. They made a huge selling this year.
So the situation is, we have pizzas downstairs. What we're going to do is we're going to freeze the speakers list. So for now we have Ben, but were there reactions to this first? Diana, can you remember it? Write it down so we can go in it now. Okay, so we will resume after the lunch break with Diana's reaction to this. We'll re-explain the process, and then we'll go again with Ben, and then go to IG report.
And discuss over lunch and come talk about it.
Absolutely.
It's really, really important.
Lunch is downstairs. Pizza.